Hey everyone, it's Linnea with a video for the release of the May 2019 stamps from the Rabbit Hole Designs. So as I was looking at all these caffeinated critters that they have released over the past couple months, I noticed that the caffeine symbol varies in size from stamp set to stamp set. Some of them are the same, but like with this caffeinated shark, they've released a big one. With the caffeinated fox, there's a little one. And then if you look at like the dino and the flamingo, they're like kind of medium sizes. But so right now I've noticed that there are 4 different sizes. So I thought that I would grab a bunch and stamp them together to create a background. And in the end, I love how this background turned out. I think it's super cute. So I'm just taking one of each of the sizes that I have, and I'm just going to be arranging them onto a piece of cardstock here. You could definitely use your MISTI, but for this, I found that it's easiest just to mount them all on one acrylic block and then stamp them all at once. So I'm using some Faded Jane's Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to repeatedly stamp these 4 caffeine symbols across my background. And you guys, this is a quick and simple card. And you know those challenges that are like those 10-minute challenges, and I could never, ever, ever do one? This would fit the bill for that. This card took me, I think, like 9 minutes to complete from start to finish. And I'm doing this in real time here, so you can see like it really doesn't take long. Just ink them up, stamp them down, and I'm using the oxide inks because I really love this Faded Jeans color, and I like how they stamp. They're always pretty clean and crisp for me, and it's just easy. You could use a dye ink, whatever you want. So I added some brown spatters to the background, just to kind of fill in some empty spaces, and everything's better with the spatters anyway, right? So I'm using the Perfectly Blended stamp set from the Rabbit Hole Designs. There are so many sentiments in this stamp set, and they're all like coffee and tea related. I haven't even counted how many there are because there's so many. But I took the sentiment that said, I love coffee, you love coffee, let's be friends. And it is one long sentiment. And I decided to cut it down into 3 different parts so that I could do the sentiment strips that are staggered. I love that design. I think that it's clean and cute, and it just gives some interest to the sentiment. So I use my scissors, and it is perfectly okay to cut apart your acrylic stamps, even your rubber stamps. I've done it with rubber too, as long as you don't cut through the part of the stamp that is actually stamping. So I was really careful with the little commas and everything to cut in between them. And you're going to see as I ink this up, I'm using some walnut stain. I think I lied. I think it is Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. It stamps just fine, and you can get so many different ways to stamp your sentiments this way. Like, it was all one strip, and if you want to break it up, you can, and you can do masking, but it takes too long for me. I like to craft as my son is napping or after he goes to bed, and of course I have lots of stuff to do around the house too, so the quicker that I can do something, the better. So cutting up your stamps is a way to quickly get what you want out of your stamps and stretch your supplies. So I trimmed out these little sentiments into banners, and I'm just going to cut the edges so that they're like a square edge. And as I was playing around, I didn't think that they stood out enough. So I actually backed each one of these little strips with a thin strip of vellum, just to create not a frame, a layer behind it so that it'll stand out better. And then I also mounted them with foam tape just to give them a little bit more dimension and so that they would stand out. So I'm going to play around here and figure out how I want to adhere these down. Once I finally figured out placement, I removed my backing and stuck them down. And then just for a little bit of embellishment, I decided to use the Pink & Main Rose Gold Glossy Dots. These are my favorites. This color is gorgeous, and they work with so many things, and so I'm just going to scatter them around, and then that will be the end of my card. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more still photos, please head over to my blog and make sure you head over to the Rabbit Hole Design shop to check out the rest of the May 2019 release. Thank you guys. Bye.